Who's willing to share how much money that they have in their bank account? You, because you're like living more of an adult life. Yeah. How much money do you have in your bank account right now?
15 grand.
Okay, 15 grand. What's the most you've ever had in your bank account at one point?
Around 28.
Okay, 28. What's the least that you've had in the last 12 months?
$500.
Okay. So if you have right now, there's 2 levels that everybody has. And he's going to get this the most because you guys are not supporting yourself yet, as far as I know. Basically, and this goes for all areas of your life too, there's going to be a point where you feel like you've won. It's like when you get to 28 grand, you're like, oh, dude, back on top, I got my 28, right? You feel good. A lot of times when people hit that point, they unconsciously take their foot off the gas. And they're like, cool, I'm at 28. I can go out with my buddies, I can hang out, da 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 da. And then there's a point underneath that, right, where let's say you got to 8 grand, or you got under 10. Like I need to start working and get back to 15, right? Or get back to where I feel comfortable. That's a pattern of existence, okay? There's this comfort zone that you're in, okay? So a way for you guys to understand is like, how dirty do you let your room get? How messy do you let your room get before you clean it up? Like what probably, at least for me, when I was your age, is like my room would get like horrifically messy, all right? And then I would clean it up and it'd be like perfect and I'd feel great. I'm like, okay, cool. And then it would get messier and messier and messier. I'd let it get all super messy again and then I'd clean it up again. I would never just maintain it. I would never just, and everyone would tell you, dude, pick up your room, right? Like, no, I would always wait till it's like super bad, then I would clean it. That's a pattern of existence. So you understand there's like these patterns that everybody lives, everybody has these, okay, in different areas. I'm using these as examples for hopefully you guys understand. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Okay, most billionaires are full stack, meaning they have deep skill sets and deep understandings in all areas, okay, of business, okay? Doesn't mean that they don't have a strength or, they're not strong in one area. They are. But they also understand at a deep level all of the different disciplines of business, okay? Now, oftentimes people believe that they can just delegate these areas away. So you're like, oh, like I'm going to be good at marketing. I'll just delegate the product. I'll just delegate this. I'll just delegate that. It's not that easy. You can't just hire someone to do that. Because if you don't even understand the basics of what makes that discipline work, how are you going to know if they're doing a good job? How are you going to know if they're just completely screwing you? Right? Like you don't know, right? So that's business disciplines. And then above that is the actual tactical process. This is like the least important part, right? How to do X, Y, Z step by step. How to trade crypto altcoins step by step. How to run YouTube ads. How to create a website. Okay, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is stuff, it's super easy to learn. Like you guys are all smarter than me, okay? Do you guys know what makes somebody smarter or dumber? Like what IQ is? Do you understand what IQ even does? No, IQ, the definition of IQ is how quickly you learn things, how quickly you process things. Everybody can learn everything, like the exception of like mentally handicapped people, right? But the difference is if your IQ is 150 versus 100, 150 is considered genius, okay? If your IQ is 150, you're going to learn much quicker, okay? But everybody gets to the same place, it's just how fast you get there. Right? And so where that comes into play is like if you spend 4 years doing whatever you spend 4 years doing, okay, and versus somebody that spends 4 years at the same IQ level, and they're spending 4 years all in learning all these different skill sets, they're going to be exponentially further than you are. Okay, does that make sense before I continue? Because this next part is a little more advanced.